search, Grievous Dog. No, well, for me, it was, I think, the first real Kit Fisto episode. He'd been featured in, supporting in a couple of episodes, but this was the first one that was all about him. And it was nice that it wasn't the first time I did it, because by that point we'd established the character that he's got this sort of swashbuckling persona. But it also introduced his Padawan, his short-lived Padawan.
Poor kid.
Voiced by, do you guys know who did the voice of Madonna? Tom Kenny.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
SpongeBob.
Very talented.
Yes.
SpongeBob.
And he looked like a goldfish. Yeah. Coincidence.
I think not.
Nice, Nick.
That was
I didn't even know that was
a great episode. One question I wanted to ask you, Phil, was Kit Fisto in the show is always just a little bit overshadowed by Plo-Kool. And I'm wondering if you could...
I don't think he's always overshadowed by Plo-Kool.
Well, it seems like Plo-Kool...
Plo-Kool can't smile. Fisto is the smiling Jedi.
Tell us about where you came with the voice, where you found the voice for Kit Fisto.
Well, it was interesting because I believe someone else had voiced Kit Fisto before me. It was actually my friend Gary Anthony Williams had done him in one, I think maybe a sequence in one episode. And after they had done that, I guess Gary wasn't available or something, but they also changed the concept. From what Dave Filoni told me, George decided that they wanted him to have sort of a Caribbean flavor, have sort of the island feel to him. And they said, you can do that, right? I'm like, I can do that. So, talking with Dave Filoni, we sort of worked out. It's like, well, he's not like the other Jedi. He's a little, for lack of a better, he's a little happier than most Jedi. He always seems to be enjoying himself. Even, when things are tight, he doesn't tighten up, He's a little more of an adventurer than Plo-Kool. I like Plo-Kool, he's a very nice guy. But that's where we worked on it, was just giving him that sense of adventure, a little bit of warmth, but also the command that you need to have in a Jedi Master.
Daniel, when you were working, when you'd been asked to do Boba Fett, is there anything special that you did to train for the part, or anything different you did between Boba when he was in the movie versus on the show?
Well, it's very funny because I have so much energy. On film, I can use all that energy to, blow out the lights in the whole entire building. Can't really do the same with voice acting. So what I had to learn is I actually had to go for a run for about 7 miles before I'd actually go in the studio. And that would at least allow my energy level to drop, so that I was kind of like a pit bull without having to be played a ball with before I go on a run. So I figured if I just go for a run before I actually go on a set, it actually helps not only the character be stronger, but it brings across the life that Boba Fett really is, because although I'm energetic, he's very much the opposite. I grew up with a huge family. He only grew up by himself, so a lot of clones. But so I just basically got back in those boots, and it just felt natural. But I think the running was one of the most important keys. It's just being able to get all that energy out of me before I run into the studio. I'd be going with too much energy, and just working with the best of the best. It just, they're like, wow, this kid's doing some kind of caffeine, I don't know what, but he definitely ain't drinking it.
Matt, you originated the voice of General Grievous in Revenge of the Sith, and then you reprised the role on Clone Wars. Is there anything that you did differently with the voice, either in post-production or with the character between the two?
It was funny because Grievous yells out so many lines, and I think in the Sith he's just constantly yelling out orders and just barking out stuff constantly. So when we had some lines where he was actually being slightly conversational, I was like, oh, I guess I have to figure out how to do that, because if he's always going, activate the ray shields and prepare for attack, and then be like, so, how about that game? You know, it's just a funny thing to do. So there was some conversational lines even in Laird Grievous, I remember, when I'm talking back and forth with the doctor that's assembling me. Yeah, but I simplified it a little bit. Just on a technical level, I simplified it a little bit for television, but I lost a little bit of the Eastern European accent, I think, over time. But it was just so fun to be able to play that character again when I thought he was dead, and then to get the opportunity to play other characters too. You know, as I said a couple days ago, it's like doing a SAG show. We get the opportunity to sometimes do more than one character voice per episode, and that gives you some fun things to try out. Definitely have that.
For each of you guys all witnessed the death, or at least the getting hit. I don't know what that is.
I'm gonna go close the door.
You guys all either witnessed the death of your characters, or in Boba's case, at least getting sucked into the Sarlacc.
Yeah.
What's that like, bringing life to a character and then having to watch them end so anticlimactically in all of the cases?
It's raw. George is just on his whim. We can just die.
Off with his head!
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for me especially, I mean, the character was killed before I ever played it. And in such a bad way.
I know. Just
like-
really quick.
Right, Jedi Master.
Yeah.
Not even a parry?
And you want to know a little fact, Phil, about that? I'll tell you a little fact about the death. The death of your characters is my death scream. Because it was like, yeah, we got 3 guys to do the deaths. Because it's like, it happens really fast. You get wiped out. Who else gets wiped out?
Agent Kolar.
Yeah, right there. Done. And
Right.
it's just like,
Done.
yeah, it's just too quick. Yeah, too
Wait, I mean, it's like, okay, I understand he's a Sith Lord.
Yeah.
But 3 Jedi Masters?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
maybe one of them could, like, put
Yeah.
up a fight. It's like, oh, I'm winged. No, nothing. Just
Yeah.
dead.
They almost should have played it like the scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark when he's going to fight the swordsman and he just pulls out his gun. They should have just had him just mow them all down at once like that. It was too quick. You know what's funny about that too is like Plo-Kool, I know that Filoni always used to say, no, you didn't quite see the very last frame there when Plo-Kool, in Order 66 when he crashes his ship, he always thought that Plo-Kool had an ejector seat. He actually got off at the end, so he's not dead. Yeah.
That's a good
He's
play
only hiding.
to Boba here,
Yeah.
and the life that Boba has beyond the Sarlacc. You know, what's that like?
That was in
watching
the deleted
Return of
scene, the Plo-Kool
watching Boba
ejection
just go
seat.
straight in there unceremoniously.
I've only ever gone to like 3/4 through the movie, and for some reason it always jams, and I don't get past that part.
You know, 3/4
I've never really seen it, no.
It's like a dream. If you die in your dream, then you're actually dead.
Continuously it replays over and over, you know? That dang theme song, you know? I'll tell you what, I'm like any other fan, I don't believe that Boba Fett's dead, but through the newer movies and what we're gonna be given through what Disney's gonna create, you never know where Boba Fett's, bounties are gonna go. They're definitely not over for now, so, I see it more like a book, now we just know the ending. We need to fill in the middle part and make it all juicy, so that people end up crying when they see that.
While we're on the subject of Disney and the new stuff, is there anything you guys want to say about what you can't say about Episode 7 or the standalones or Rebels? So I know everybody asks you, I'm sure.
These guys had a meeting with Mickey last week. Minnie pulled me into her little room and we had a talk about maybe future storylines.
That's actually, yeah.
Me and Pocahontas, she's joining the galaxy, and Snow White, 3 little dwarves. We're not getting all of them because they're too costly.
Yeah, apparently Goofy is going to be the next Sith Lord. I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Have you seen the South Park episode? Oh. I own all this. And guess not, slave word is over. He puts in a couple other bad words in between that.
Oh, that's so funny.
It's amazing.
I know what they're talking about.
You gotta watch it.
So now that we'll get back on the rails here, what did you guys learn in the room with all the other voice actors for Clone Wars, what did you learn as an actor or voice actor working on the Clone Wars from your colleagues or Filoni?
Well, I know for me, watching D. Bradley Baker play all the clones, it really gave me, because I mean, I don't know, when I first started doing voiceover, I thought it was all about, you know, it's like, do a different voice, I'm doing this voice, I don't do this voice. You know, it was all, it's like, but watching somebody take one voice and lay it out over, I don't know however many different characters. I mean, that episode, Rookies, where it's just him doing 8 different clones, they're all the same voice, but all with different personalities. Yeah. And it actually opened me up to the range of what was possible in what we do, you know, just with just a microphone. It's just a microphone. Well, and also, you know, the artists that are the animators.
And
you know,
the talent.
well, no, but the thing is, I mean, you know, because you played the entire character of Boba Fett, you know, on camera. And then when you do, on Clone Wars, as an actor, you're really only half of it, because you're depending, you know, you do your acting, you do your voice, you give it what you can, but then you're depending on the animators and the visual artists to bring that, you know, onto the screen. It's like, okay, I'm making it sound sad, but I need you to make it look sad, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what I learned.
Yeah, it's just the same kind of thing. It's just the teamwork environment, the team environment. I love that it's like a radio play. You go through the whole thing from top to bottom, and you feel it. You just feel the emotion of what's happening. It's very much like being in theater, and you're feeding off everybody. Everyone's excited, and you're reading the script and going through it, and you're seeing it happen in the imaginations of all of the actors as we're performing it. It's just that is so fun to me. Voice work in general is so fun for me because of that fact. You're all working together in this imaginative space that's it's really it just really catches you like as you're working on it, and I like the linear aspect of it, you know, more so than like when you do a video game or something. You're just reading off hundreds and hundreds of different lines. I love video games, but I mean I love the non-linear nature nature of voice work when you're doing television. You're just really feeling it like a play.
Well, and it's funny because it's not all, I mean, it's having a good creative powers who understand the value of people telling a story together.
Yeah.
You know? Because there will be a lot of shows where you do it just like a video game, where you just go in by yourself. It's like, just say all of the lines your character says in the episode. Thank you, we'll cut them together later.